is I'm gonna give a bunch of general information, and then I'm gonna let cheerleaders go ahead and get sized, and cheerleaders will go be done, and then I'll finish talking about football. Football to get sized, and then you'll be done. So hopefully we can do all that by and be done by 4 o'clock. So I'm gonna go through. If you got any questions, feel free to ask, and then we'll be done from there. So I'm Mario Gideon. If you see on Facebook or somewhere say Anthony Gideon, it's the same person. It's not my brother. A lot of people ask that, oh, that's your brother. No, it's the same person. I do have a brother, but that's not him. So Mario Anthony, same person. Um, Triumph, if you're not familiar with it, it started here at this church. So it's part of our ministry for this church. Um, that scripture right there, every year we kind of have a motto, and that's ours for this year, all across all sports. So if you see track, you'll see track with some long sleeve shirts on with that on the back. Football, if you get a chance to order one, you'll have that on the back. Basketball, whatever. Fitting for this year is our third year, and each year we continue to grow and improve. And so now I feel like we're at the point where now it's something where we can make each other better. And that's practices, that's competition, that's everything we do. You can't, huh? Fourth year. My bad, it was third year with, right. Fourth year. All right, so on that, the biggest thing, just to recap, for if you didn't know, I have a one group that I always try to give some kind of honor to, and that is my oldest group of football. My oldest group every year takes the lickings for everybody else to be good. Because that oldest group, they don't have enough. My first year we had didn't have enough. They didn't have enough to finish the season. And then the next year they kind of were struggling along. And then last year they had, I think, 11 kids, and they played the whole season with 11 kids. So everybody else underneath those groups, they thrive because, they have the years in there. So we had our 9U, 8U, and our flag was all in the championship last year. Flag won it, and our 10U lost in the semis. So every year continues to get better. I only expect it to get better this year just because we have everybody returning plus additional people that can also contribute. So overall thing that I want everybody, parents, coaches, I just talked to the coaches before y'all got here. Go ahead, Scott, hit that next one. The overall thing, and if you, no, go back. No, T, oh, yep. All right, so I got through telling the coaches, and you've seen this in high school if you played or anything like that. In general, T over me, which means the organization over us. That means always think about the organization as a whole before us. All right, because it's not just, a lot of people look at it and say, man, Triumph is football. Football is good. They win some games. It's not just football. So there are other things that come and will come in the future, but we don't want to put a negative light on the organization that hinders that. That's going to be able to affect kids that's not just playing sports. So always have that in mind when we're at the field. When the things we say and the things we do, that's the only thing I ask all coaches, parents, kids, everybody, is make sure that we don't make it about us as adults. At the end of the day, it's about the kids. It's about them playing. It's about them getting developed. That's what it's about. Scott, go ahead and go to the next one. All right, now, fees. I pushed the fees back due to Friday. It's supposed to be due tomorrow. I pushed it back to Friday. Flag is 100. Cheer is 100. Tackle football is 185. Now, I didn't put girls flag on there because we didn't have, I think we only had maybe one girl in each age group, and that was still kind of spotty because they were going to end up playing at the same time as the brothers. So they might not want to do that. So those are the fees. You can pay via Venmo, PayPal, or you can give me cash. That first block was Cash App. We don't have Cash App anymore. Cash App, they shut us down after our last 7-on-7 tournament for whatever reason. They said I was gambling. I don't know. I tried to dispute it, and they kept saying no. So, but any one of those methods is how you can make your payment. Before we finish, you're gonna get size. Make sure you get your kid's size. Make sure you keep up with the size. That way, when you send the payment, you send the size, I know what it is. I am not going to remember what size you got fitted for. So when you send me an email that says, hey, you remember what size so and so were? I don't. So make sure you keep up with it and make sure you send that. Um, I think that's about it on that. Anybody got questions on that? All right. Next one, Scott. All right. Dates as far as the schedule goes. Right now, these are dates. Official AYF dates. From July 21st will be the official first day of practice. So when I say official first day, that means the day that they recognize as practice. Will tackle football do conditioning before then? Yes. Um, Nobody else will do anything before July 21st. All right. Flag will probably start on July 21st. I will let everybody know when cheer is going to start. Cheer is going to start July 21st as well. So tackle will do conditioning before that. I understand everybody has other sports you're still playing. So really all conditioning is to kind of get us, if you're not playing a sport, get you into it before you get out there in full pads and helmet and everything like that. If you are playing a sport and you are free, it's just coming to get in the routine of what practice will look like. So this is championships are finishing November 1st. So kind of a long season. They've actually pushed it up, so it would have finished November 8th, but I think they're going to go with this schedule, which I like better. Um, Practices during the week. Everyone typically practices 2 days a week. Sometimes we start off 3 days a week. And then once we get into the season, it's back down to 2 days a week. Cheer starts at 2 days a week, and then sometimes it goes back to 1 day a week once you get later in the year. Typically, that's Tuesday, Thursday. Some of the teams will pick up a Monday, and that's pretty much about as max as we go. I talk to the coaches about the same thing. Some people need a Monday. I don't need a Monday. Like, we're going to get the work done that we need to get done in the 2 hours, hour and a half that we're out there. Um, so, typical week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Practice Tuesday, practice Thursday, play game on Saturday. Most of those games, they could be anywhere from Elkmont to Coleman. That's probably the furthest I think that we'll play. Outside of that is within the city limits. Madison, Lee High School, Madison Academy, those type teams. Um, After the championship game, I think 12U, 10U, and 9U, if you win the championship game, will have a chance to go on the regionals. Regionals, it depends on where was it at last year, Mike? Mike in here. What was Savannah? All right, it was in Savannah last year. Um, Augusta. Yeah, there you go. So that's one. As we get closer, we'll kind of see who wants to do it. If there's that chance, that's a possibility, we'll make that happen. So just kind of keep that in mind, just because it's not here on the schedule. Um, Questions about the schedule? Practice, games, anything. If you have siblings, they may be split up depending on how the schedule is. On a Saturday, they typically try to match it all together, but sometimes that doesn't work. So I think we had 1 year last year where pretty much every team was somewhere else. All right, it was only once, but just the possibility that may happen. Any questions? All right, Scott, hit that next one. All right, so what you have in your hand is a Domino's fundraiser that we're going to do. And if you don't have one, raise your hand, we'll get you one. So here's how this is going to work. If you can't give somebody one that don't have it. All right, so let me get one. So what this is, I'm actually running this football and track right now, so and I'm going to explain how this is going to go. So you have all the QR codes on here that tell you exactly how to sign up. And what we're going to do is, of course, Domino's gets their percentage, and then we get our percentage. Football-wise, we're using it, honestly. We got a lot more people. We're going to try to buy new helmets, all right? Track-wise, I'm going to get to that for those of you that run track. It's kind of to help you out as well. So first thing, how they work. If you forget what I'm saying, there's videos in here and everything that lets you know. It's actually a pretty good deal. Now, each card is $20, but each card gives you a buy a large, get one free. So if you use the card, you buy a large pizza, you get one free. That means if you're having a birthday party, or banquet, you buy 10 large pizzas, you get 10 large pizzas free. So at the end of it, it's worth it. I kind of wish I'd had it at the beginning of this year when we had a couple banquets. But it's $20 a card. They have an online platform as well as this sheet if you want to use this sheet. So incentive wise, here's what we're gonna do. If you're a football player, um, 5 cards. You sell 5 cards, you're gonna get an arm sleeve, whatever arm sleeve that they like to wear. 10 cards, you get a pair of Triumph socks and the arm sleeve. So everything else is just added onto that. 15 cards, you get a T-shirt, and 20 cards, football players, you get a pair of gloves. So you can order all that stuff without it. But if you do that, you don't have to order it. So you get it anyway just by selling it. Go to that next one, Scott. Actually, go to the next one, and then we'll come back to that one. So cheer, same thing. Obviously, cheer don't need arm sleeves and gloves. So cheer, 5 cards. We'll get a cheer bow, 10 cards. There's a pair of Triumph tights. 15 is a T-shirt. 20 is a drawstring bag. Go back to that last one. If you are a track person, you're running track this year, every 7 cards is a track meet for you. Still get a T-shirt as your 15 cards. So sell 14 cards. That's 2 track meets you don't have to pay for. I mean, and you know how those track meets run up, especially if you got multiple kids. So that's just something. If you are track and football and you decide, hey, I want to use. How do you want to use it? I want to use it for track. Let me know, and we'll total up like that. I want to use it for football for the incentives. Let me know, and we'll do it like that. If you are overzealous and you sell 40 of them, you want to do both, we can do that too. So it's kind of both ways. It's going to help the organization and it's going to help you in some capacity. Questions on that? Yes, ma'am. They expire at the end of the year. Yes, good question. And we'll run this for 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks you sell them and you rack up all the dominoes you can get. Any other questions? All right, next one. All right, next one. That's it? All right, good. All right, so if cheer, is there any questions for cheer? Any cheer parents have any questions? All right, so here's what I want you to do. If you are just a cheer parent, then you're going to follow cheer coach, Audrey. This is my sister. Back here, and you can go ahead and get your uniform size and be ready to go. Now, I understand if you are a cheer and football parent, you probably won't stay. But other than that, you can go ahead. We're going to talk a little bit about football, and then we'll get size from there. Those of you that know people that's not here, we'll do it again. I think Tuesday, 6 o'clock. If they didn't get sized, to get sized, or some point before I order. After Tuesday, it's kind of just you got to get with me at some point. That might be it. Oh, hey, Tron. After Tuesday, you got to get with me at some point, or you're just gonna have to tell me what you think, and that's what they're gonna have to roll with. Now, so football, we plan to have 2 6U flag teams, 7U, 8U, 9U, 10U, 11U teams. Now, with that being said, I told you kind of how this was at the beginning, where we had teams that are competitive. They've done a good job in the past. I anticipate they will continue to do a good job. With that being said, their AYF has a minimum play requirement. Everybody will meet that minimum play requirement. That minimum play requirement may not be what you think it should be. So if that minimum play requirement is 4 plays, They will get 4 plays, and we're going to try to get them as much as possible, as much playing time as we can. So there are games where you're going to have, just to be honest, there are games we'll be blowing people out, and everybody's going to play as much as they want it to. There are going to be games that are tight where everybody's trying to win, and they got the 4 plays, and that may be all they get. And I'm just telling you this to be honest with you. So you can't say I did not tell you. There is 100% possibility that your child may only get 4 plays in a game or two. That's true anywhere. I'm just telling you the truth. So what we want the kids to be able to do is compete. They're going to compete at practice every day. Coaches are going to evaluate, and I've seen the roster that I'm gonna have, and if that stays the same, I mean I have a good enough roster to have a green and a white offensive team and roll either one of them out there at any given time and be okay. Defensively, same way. All right. But there are a lot of kids that have that competitive nature. There are a lot of kids that have that ability that they're going to be out there. Do you want your kid to be around that? Yes, because you want them to compete. They're going to compete here. They're going to compete in middle school. They're going to compete in high school. They have to learn how to compete. But I just want everybody to understand that that's what it is. It is competition. We're going to develop them, and I mean they're going to have fun and they're going to win games. And even if the ones that don't win games, they're going to develop and they're going to compete and they're going to learn something. But I just don't want somebody to come to me in the middle of the season, and you might. But that's why I'm recording this video. And I'm going to tell you, I told you that this was a possibility. Now, I just want to, not in a mean way, but I'm just like, that is a strong possibility. Will it happen? Maybe, maybe not. I just want you to be aware of it. So, any questions on that? And in me saying that, I had 32 kids on 9U last year. At some point during the season, throughout the season, every single skill kid had the ball at some point. Now, did they maybe only touch the ball twice? Maybe. But they got a chance to get the ball at some point during the season with 32 kids. So you're going to get the chance, but I know that chance looks different for everybody. Your kid only got the ball twice. You might not be happy with that. I'm just telling you now that may be the possibility. So just have that in your thoughts before. That's why I tell everybody, wait. Don't pay me any money yet. Just wait, just to make sure. Because I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. That way we don't get disgruntled mid-season. Anybody got questions on that? All right. Next. I told the coaches the same thing. If there's ever an issue, let me know. Don't take it to the coach unless it's something mild and you talking to the coach. If it's something big and you're upset, let me know. Don't take it to the coach. All right, because you take it to the coach and you're upset, and then the coach is upset, and then y'all are, angry at each other. It ain't good for nobody. All right, I already told the coaches don't talk to y'all. So if you have an issue, let me know, and then we're gonna handle it. And I've had that. We've had some minor issues. They let me know, and I go to the coach, and we talk, and it's good. We're good to go. All right. No matter what it is, let me know, and I promise we get. It's one of two ways. I'm gonna say, hey, you're right, and I'm gonna go talk to the coach, and we're gonna have it all handled. Or I'm gonna say, I disagree, and the same thing. We just gotta go from there. So let me handle any disagreements that you may have, so they don't blow up and become bigger things. Any questions on that? All right, another one. Football wise, I think this is my 17th year coaching high school football. I've been coaching youth football for maybe 9 or 10. I am 100% convinced that 90% of parents think their child is the best player. I'm telling you. 99% of them think they're in the top 5. And they also think that they are going to play this position and this position they play. Now, I will also say this to you. What the coaches will do is try to get the best product on the field that is possible. It is 11, 10, 9, 8, 7U football. I know you may think your son is a quarterback, but it's a lot of years to go before we actually know what they are going to be. So, kids are going to play a lot of positions. Don't hold them to one position because you think that's what they're going to play 12 years from now. With that being said, if your child can play tight end or he can play something else and you say, no, my child's a quarterback, I want to play quarterback. Okay, well, he may be the fifth string quarterback. And if you want him to be the fifth string quarterback, then we'll put him at the fifth string quarterback. Or he can get on the field and develop in skills that he may need down the road at some point. So always have that in mind. Like it is about the kids. We're gonna develop the kids. And honestly, if we all do that, we're gonna have a good time. Any questions on that? All right, so all of our coaches, this is the really like a logistical thing. We have we get 8 coaches per team. Um, all those coaches will be on what they call NSID, which y'all are gonna get onto as well. You're gonna register your kids. Those are the coaches that you will have. There'll be background check, all that stuff on NSID. If you are not one of those, you will need to stay outside of that practice area on the field. I'll send it out how we going that area. I will need anybody that's not one of those not to go on the field. I know if you got an injury or something like that, I get that. Other than that, we're gonna stay away from the practice field. We'll stay away from um, the kids that are on the field. And then after they come to you, they, whatever you need to do, go home and good on that. That makes sense? Like, I need only people on the field coaching kids that are in the system, background check, and good to go. Got it? And then the last thing, we'll get to this later, but the more people we have, I'll also send out a diagram of parking because this gets pretty backed up, especially everybody like to park on the side of the road so they can see, and then people can't get through and all that stuff. So I'll send that out. Other than that, any other questions? That pretty much covers it all. Any questions? And don't take everything I said. I know that you may can take it the wrong way, like, man, he ain't gonna let my kid play. No, I don't want it to be like a situation where you're like, oh, I didn't know that he was going. I just want everybody to know up front. Yes, ma'am. Say that again. Yes. All right. So on that, your fee comes with everything. Now, if you have your own shoulder pads and helmets, that's fine. You can wear your own shoulder pads and helmets. I just need it to be white, and I still need to see it. I need to check it because if you, not like you will, but for whatever reason, if you come in your own helmet and it's 2010 and you get hurt, I'm still in trouble, even though it's your own helmet. So I just need to make sure you got one that's not 10 years old at least. Yes, right out there. So that field right out there be practice held. They're pulling up stumps, grinding down stumps. Chris and Boatman out here working. Other people are getting some dirt. Zach got a guy come out here and spread the dirt. So we're going to fill in those holes and make it a lot more space out there for us to use. And so there's plenty of space out there for everybody to get their practice in. And we'll basically go younger group up top and filter it all the way down to the bottom. 6 o'clock typically when we start. Yes. Once we get to that point, if we don't, we got plans. But if we don't get to that point, we'll do like we did last year. We'll have alternatives where we may end up going somewhere else. Lee, Liberty, James Clemens, something like that. Which you don't realize how much field this is until you try to put everybody on a regular football field. It gets real tight. Any other questions? That's pretty good. So number one, remember when you go get uniform size. If you already got them size, you remember it, you are free to go. If you haven't, get them sized. Make sure you remember the size. Also, make sure you keep in mind today is, I forgot already. Somebody told me May 18th. They have to wear these through November 1st, hopefully. So if it's a little tight now, you might want to go up a size. If you are a 7U player, Coach Chris right here, the head 7U coach, he needs to see you. Other than that, if there are no questions, yes. When, yes. So I'll after the day, I'll send out how exactly I need you to send the money and sizes, and then yep, you'll send that. Any other questions? All right, that's pretty easy. Free to go. Make sure you get size. Make sure you get it down, and we're good to go.